And welcome back to Game Escape, here today with a review of Crimzon Clover, an independently developed Japanese PC shoot-'em-up game, currently available on Steam, although it was released off of Steam back in 2011. And I have to say I was blown away by the quality of this game. I picked it up as part of a recent Humble bundle, and it had sort of a number of PC shoot-'em-up games, side-scrolling and vertically scrolling shooters, none of which I've heard of, but this was sort of kind of the first one that I clicked on. This is, you know, you had I guess if you donated the most amount of money, this was the title you got, so it interested me, and I've been really busy this week, but the time that I've had, I've put into this game, because it is really, really that good. If you like cave-style shooters, you know, old-school, kind of, well, I shouldn't say old-school, but, you know, Dreamcast era up to maybe 2005, 2006, you know, bullet hell shooters, this is the game for you. It is just a masterpiece, and it got me thinking, you know, what makes a great bullet hell shoot-'em-up game? I mean, on the one hand, you need gorgeous visuals, and this game has that. The levels kind of evolve in interesting ways, the enemies evolve in interesting ways as you play through the level. There's a mid-boss, which is pretty tough, and a really, really good end-boss on most stages, and just, you know, wonderful hand-drawn art, or at least I think it's hand-drawn art, but you know, it captures that hand-drawn style. You know, then you have music, and this game has pretty good music. It's not great, but it certainly does the job, and I think kind of the standout track is on stage 4, which is an absolute masterpiece of a stage. And beyond that, you have to have, I think, interesting bullet patterns, and really complex bullet patterns, and this game has that. I mean, there are all sorts of, you know, really just wild assaults that you have to withstand, and I mean, the earlier doujin titles that came out for PC, I remember kind of following the scene back in 2007, 2008, and I played a couple of games that came out before that, and one of the things that these shooters tried to do was give you amazing bullet patterns. I mean, just gorgeous to look at, but that was pretty much all they did. They didn't have the music, they didn't have the graphics. This game has it all. But I think even on a more fundamental level, what makes a great shoot-'em-up game is this constant tension between helplessness and survival. And this game absolutely nails that. I mean, it is so frenetic. There are some screens where you have no idea how you're going to stay alive, and yet you find a way to do it, and it's absolutely rewarding. Now, I will say that the game is mercilessly difficult, at least for me. And I can hold my own in cave games and stuff like that, but I found playing this on normal mode, dying a lot more than I usually do, and when I played it on expert mode, it was absolutely insane. But that's the challenge of this game. You know, this is a game where, you know, you feel okay if you get destroyed, because it is just such a beautiful package to look at. That's not to say there aren't minor flaws. I think one flaw that it has, it's perhaps its major flaw, is that it runs in windowed mode. And a number of other games in this bundle, and like I said, this is one I played extensively, but they had a couple others that actually gave you know, a full screen. Granted, the playing area was sort of shrunk down into a vertical field, but it you know, having it on a full screen allowed you to see a little bit more of the real estate. And so, while you could blow this game up into a full screen mode, it just always remains the same size of that original window. And so I'm trying to do some things in editing here to kind of blow up the image a little bit so you can see the gorgeous graphics that this game has to offer. Another, I think, relatively minor point, although it might bother some people, is that there's so much action going on the screen, and sometimes the colors mesh, you know, the colors of your bullets, the shots fired at you, and the explosions, and at certain points it becomes very difficult to, assess where you are in relationship to the oncoming pattern, which it seemed to be most problematic with the yellow ship. Sometimes the red ship kind of gave off a little explosive haze that made it hard to do. It was actually easiest, I thought, to play with the blue ship. And then occasionally you'll see enemies repeating. Again, it's not a huge deal, but mechanically it's a fairly simple game. You have your regular spread shot, you have your screen clearing bomb, and I guess the new twist is that you actually have homing missiles. So you hold B. I'm playing on an Xbox 360 controller. You hold B, and you can have it. The longer you hold the button, the more targets it'll lock onto, and so you can take out some of the more minor enemies that way, or sort of focus in on one appendage of a boss character and take it out that way. So it's sort of a nice little twist on the formula, but beyond that, it is your standard shoot 'em up formula, and that's fine. I mean, if you love bullet hell games, you'll be right at home here. So this is a definite buy. It's currently, I think right now it's at $8. It retails typically on Steam for 10, so it's worth 20. It's that good. It's that satisfying a game if you enjoy bullet hell shooters and you're just looking for a new one to play. I had no idea this game was out. I would have jumped on it, day one when it popped onto Steam if I had known about it. So yeah, if you're a fan of this genre, definitely pick this up. You will not be disappointed. So I thank you as always for watching Game Escape, and I'll be back shortly with another video.